When former President Thabo Mbeki visited Soshanguve township yesterday, some saw it as a beam of light and hope, while others just saw another electioneering campaign. Residents complained of poor service delivery, from dusty roads to sewage, blaming it on political instability. Newzroom Afrika's Zola Sholana is there and joins us live. Zola, again, service-related matters coming under the spotlight as we get closer and closer to those all-important elections. What are residents there saying?
Well, Nhlanhla, when we are interacting with residents on the ground, they're complaining about how they've been forgotten by politicians in terms of service delivery, with them saying that there's been a number of political parties that have been showing their faces to them, making a series of promises, but they're saying that that is not giving them hope, but it makes them feel like this is obviously another election campaign, and they are not convinced that, change will be brought by these elections. The biggest issue here is that, some parts of Soshanguve don't have proper roads, they don't have street lights, and as a result, at around 7 p.m. you have to find yourself inside your premises, because obviously that's when criminals take advantage, of the darkness and everything else. The sewer systems that have collapsed in the area, and they're also blaming it on the coalition government, saying that it's serving people in suburbs, but not those that live in townships. But to tell us more, I'm joined by residents. Ma'am, thank you very much for your time. Take us through the challenges that you're facing in this particular area.
Okay. Hi, Newzroom Afrika viewers. People in the area here are complaining about the state of roads, the high unemployment rate, crime in the area, water outages, which is having an impact. It comes in like 3 times a month, and education. There are challenges with TUT as well. People, locals around here, they want to be part of the institution, they'll apply, but when they have to go to the university, they're being turned down. So it ranges around that.
Another issue that has been mentioned by residents was the fact that the coalition government is not serving people in townships. Your take on that?
Yes, it doesn't. Since ANC went into coalition with DA, there's a lack of service delivery. Look at the state of roads. Look, can the cameraman zoom down this road? You'll see there's rocks. There are people who had fallen, they've been injured, they've got fractures. The other one has back problems. It's a problem. We can't live like this. Block L, for 14 years, people have been voting, but then what do they get in return?
Are you hopeful that this year's elections are going to bring change in Soshanguve?
We hope so. We think that it's time for everybody to take part in the upcoming elections and make change. We are the change that we want to see. So if people don't take part, then we'll still be stuck where we are.
Thank you very much for your time, ma'am. Let's bring in another resident. Ma'am, thank you very much for your time. Take us through the challenges that you are facing as residents in this section.
Okay, good afternoon, Newzroom viewers. My name is Nkele Molokomme. I'm a Block L resident. I'm born and bred here in Soshanguve. The crime rate is too much. It's too much due to the lack of service delivery, if you have street lights. And again, we are appealing with the SAPs to also go hand in hand with a neighborhood watch, and then they go hand in hand with the Mapanya, so that we can eliminate this crime that is happening in our area, especially Block L. We have students that are complaining every day about the crime rate in Soshanguve, the house robberies as well, and also the robberies, the hijacks that are happening in our area.
What would you like to see come out of, this year's elections?
I would like to see change. I would like to see youth participating in these upcoming elections, so that we find change, we find victory. And again, if I'm not allowed to say this, but I'll say vote ANC. Vote ANC.
Thank you very much for your time. And Nhlanhla, those were residents who are essentially, painting us a picture of how it feels like living in this section of Soshanguve, saying that they feel forgotten for the longest time. It's been over 14 years, and they are hopeful that from this year's elections, perhaps something will change and that their demands will be met by the new government that will be taking over, if there will be a new government. Back to you in studio.
Thanks a lot to our reporter. That's Zola Sholwana. She's been speaking to residents out in Soshanguve, of course, following the visit by former president, Thabo Mbeki, who was on the campaign trail for the ANC in that area.